Hi, this is Jamie Brightland with newearthmama.blogspot.com. I'm just doing a little intro because I've been doing a lot of teaching of Reiki recently and some other forms of healing. And with usually people that are not in Hawaii and are learning from long distances, so I thought this video would help with my tips and tricks manual of demonstrations of how to do some of the exercises, especially when you as masters go forth in your craft to teach others. These are some tricks that I have learned in my processes of dealing with and teaching and learning of healing energy that has helped me really sort of ingrain the energy in my system and also help aid in explaining and showing others how the energy works. So first I want to show you some of the Reiki symbols. So the most important one, and one of the first ones that you'll learn, is the chokore. Chokore. And it's this is all Japanese words, right? Reiki is you would probably know if you are a student of Reiki, started in Japan. So this symbol normally has 3 spirals. It's usually 3 spirals coming out. I've added a 4th one because I've noticed in dealing with the energy, as we are all progressing into the 4th dimension, this symbol has sort of evolved with me to needing 4 spirals instead of 3. That might not be the case with you. You might still feel comfortable with 3. So it's whatever you feel comfortable with, but this is what I use on people. And when I use the 4 symbol, I still say the chokore 3 times. So I trace it once, say it 3 times, and this will increase the Reiki power both from me doing the healing on the person and for the person to receive the energy as well. One of the ways that you can do this just to practice with what this energy feels like once you've already been initiated is to, if you want to follow me, take the symbol. It shows how you trace it, and you do have to follow the right path. If you do it out of order, it kind of messes with the energy. So what I do is I take my hand and I go to my floor and I do chokore, 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 chokore 4 times. Tap, tap, tap it into the ground, and then stand in it like this. And you can feel the energy sort of whip you around and sort of your body aligning to it. This is a good way, if you're teaching Reiki, to show your students how they can feel the energy and how each symbol has a different energy. So as you go through the symbols, you can do each of these onto the ground, stand in it, and then show them the different energies. The symbol can also be applied directly under the person, particularly if the person is having issues with self and their personal power. Applying this symbol directly on the solar plexus area, which is a few inches just directly above the belly button. Putting that symbol there, you can even draw it on there physically. I know a lot of people that have Reiki tattoos of the power symbol right there on their body, and that is a great way to simulate your personal power, get it stimulated, and get it embedded and ingrained with Reiki. When you do healing on a person, I usually will do the chokore right in that spot and tap it in 3 times with the 4 spirals. Okay. So the other symbols, another popular one, is the Seihei. This is the Seihei. This is the one written of how you draw the lines first, and then this is without it. Kind of looks like a dinosaur. And this symbol is great. I use this for when I initiate someone. I put this for 1st degree Reiki right on the back of the neck right here. It activates the pineal gland. It's the connection between the mind and the emotional state of the body, which is what this symbol represents. It's great for the union of God and man, which is kind of where the head and the body unite right at the back of the neck. And it's good for harmony and peace. So if I have a person or a client or a student that is having hard times, kind of like a rough, rocky road in life, I will trace this symbol on the back of their head, and sometimes I will trace it just right above their heart chakra. If this is their heart chakra right between the chest, I'll trace it right about here. It offers kind of a bridge between the heart and the head and will create some sort of sense of peace and balance to whatever kind of chaos they're going through. And also you can do the same thing, like plugging this into the ground, tracing it into the ground, saying it 3 times, and tapping it into the ground and standing in it. And you can feel the energy from that. It's much, much different than the chokore. And this is again called Se He Ki. Se He Ki. Okay. Next one is the distance symbol, and this one is a mouthful, and it's also very lengthy to draw. So I cheat when I use this one because it is a lot to remember, and when you are initiating a new student, it's, you know, you're kind of all wrapped up in all the other symbols that you're doing. This one's hard to remember. So usually I'll have this kind of on the side when I'm initiating someone to cheat, and the only time I actually will walk through the symbol as it's written, as it's traced, is when I'm initiating someone to plug them into the aura of the person, right? Otherwise, I just visualize it, you know, as if I'm healing somebody. I'll visualize the symbol and then I'll tap it into them 3 times and I'll say it, but I won't draw it because it's a lot. And usually when I do this is with the Reiki bubble, and the Reiki bubble is when I'm healing someone. Anytime I do any kind of healing on anyone, or any kind of counseling, or even when I doula, and some of the moms that I work with, at the end we'll do something called a Reiki bubble. And that is a visualization of them in a bubble where they're all nice and calm and relaxed, in usually a lay down, closed eyes sort of state. And we put them in the Reiki bubble. So say that this is my person right here, right? I put them in the Reiki bubble. I plug in the chokore, 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 chokore. Seiheki, 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 seiheki. And I'm visualizing Honshaze Shonen, Honshaze Shonen, Honshaze Shonen, from now until a week from now. That's the timetable. You plug in with the Honshaze Shonen. And then another chokore, 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 chokore. And you always start with the chokore, you always end with the chokore, no matter what. Even if you're adding other healing symbols in, always start with the chokore and end with the chokore. And as I do that, and that's all good, I put my hands like this, Reiki energy on, appropriate for the person receiving. Let that fill the bubble, and you're visualizing this while you're doing it. And then once it feels complete, and you can sort of see the person accepting the energy in the bubble, sometimes it takes a little while for that, then you go, and so it is activate, promote. And it's a charged, intention-based healing bubble, which is a lot different than the way Reiki is normally taught. That is my son, it's okay. So that's the Reiki bubble that's using the Honshaze Shonen. And I think that's all we can do right now. I'll come back with the balancing symbol and the Raku in my next video. Thanks.